What it do, y'all? It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY. Back with another one of that OD pod, man. You know who this is, man. You know what I represent. And you know what I stand on. Facts over beliefs, facts over feelings, facts over it all. But yo, what you guys think about the Super Bowl? We gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. Got nothing but downtime. I said, you know what? Let me do a live, man. I got new subscribers. You know what I'm saying? We getting close to 200,000 subscribers. And it was only right that I just talk about certain things, man. And definitely, we're going to start off with the Super Bowl. Me personally, I think the Super Bowl was trash. It was not exciting. Kendrick Lamar was not exciting. No disrespect to Kendrick, it was just not exciting. All that hype, it was just trash. You know what I'm saying? Very disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I thought him having the halftime show was really gonna be something insightful. And to be honest, and this is no disrespect to rappers and stuff like that. I think it's time for us to step away from the hip hop for the halftime show. Like, give us some old classics. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us something to look forward to. No disrespect to Kendrick, no disrespect to hip hop, no disrespect, but I feel like it's corny now. I feel like we reached the level where, like, all right, now we need to go somewhere else. Maybe give us country, right? Give us some country music. Give us something. Give us something new. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's watered down. I feel like the dancing, the presentation is just corny. It's not for us. I think it's time for us to just go a different direction. The Super Bowl in itself, that joint was trash. You know what I'm saying? The Super Bowl was not what it was. It ain't turned out the way it was advertised. It was trash. It was bad business. Um, I felt a lot of people was invested into the Chiefs and was disappointed. I was not even able to place a bet, guys. I was not even a place a bet. All of it. The DraftKings, FanDuel. I got all of that. And all of them I tried to place $100, $200. They would not let me. So that alone just lets me know that, you know what I'm saying, this jump was gonna be garbage. And it was. It was. You know, usually when we go watch the Super Bowl, we go watch the Super Bowl at, you know what I'm saying, you go watch it at people's houses. You know, you go watch it or go to the bar. This year, I didn't even have the urgency. It was snowing the night before, and then it was just, you know what I'm saying. You just woke up with the feeling like, oh, this is just gonna be just another day. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. It was trash. You know what I'm saying? Very disappointed, right? A lot of you guys know that, Irv Gotti passed away. You know what I'm saying? I sent my condolences in previous videos. I didn't know him personally, so I'm really not attached. I'm not like emotionally hurt behind it, but at the same time, I know hip hop took a loss. Like, this took a L on hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Some of you young bucks may not understand that, but that man played a pivotal role into the music you listening to, and to allowing so-called grown men to make, love songs the way that is being made today. You know what I'm saying? Irv Gotti played a pivotal role in that. You know what I'm saying? And he passed away. And I got a chance to see one of his old videos. Just looking at him and hearing the way that he was talking, he knew he was sick. He knew he had a short time to live. And to be honest, it seemed like he didn't even want to live no more. It seems like he just wanted to just, you know, call it a wrap. You know what I mean? Like, when you dealing with such things as far as diabetes, and you had a stroke. My grandfather had a stroke. You know what I'm saying? And my grandfather had a heat stroke. So his heat stroke literally paralyzed his whole entire left side. Right? I remember like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I remember when he first came to America, he was chilling, walking regular. And I remember the second time he came, he was just, you know what I'm saying? He was just not himself. And me personally, you know what I'm saying, I feel bad because me and my grandfather never had a rapport like that, you know what I'm saying? And especially with the knowledge that I know now, with the wisdom that I know now, I definitely would have loved to have one last conversation just so I can be able to trace back my mother's side of the family. You know what I'm saying? There's just so much nonsense that goes on where things just don't be adding up. And now that, you know what I'm saying, he passed away and we not, being on good terms, and I wouldn't say we was on bad terms, but at the same time we wasn't on the grandson and the grandfather. The grandchildren always love their grandparents. I never had that. I never got a chance to experience that at all. Well, not once on both sides of my family. You know what I'm saying? I never was connected. I never was close to my grandmother on my father's side. I never was close to my grandmother on my mother's side, or my grandfather on my father's side. And that's something that I'm trying to correct, you know what I'm saying? Especially for my children, especially that my children literally have literally just one grandparent. And I'm speaking about, my son, my son and my daughter, you know what I'm saying? The ones, my primary care, the ones that's literally was under my watch, meaning I'm the one that registered them in school. I'm the one that bought their uniforms. I'm the one that gave money for their lunch. I'm the one that did all these things for these children. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nobody else outside of my mom's. You know what I'm saying? So that's neither here nor there. But back to the Ja Rule situation, to the Irv Gotti, you know what I'm saying? My condolences. And like I said, it seemed like he didn't want to live no more. It seems like his those diseases, going to the doctor and having to see people constantly over and over and over and over and over again. It makes you, you know what I'm saying? It makes it hard for you to look forward to the next day. And I feel like that's what happened with him, because when I seen the video, when people start wishing and thinking about people that passed on, it sounds more like you ready to meet them on the other side. So my condolences to that. Um, a lot of you guys see the Big Meech and Little Meech and 50 Cent and Rick Ross situation. Now, I was gonna do a short video on Instagram talking about it, but since we here now, it's like, why not? Now, a lot of you guys may see 50 as being a boogeyman. He's being a bully. He's ODing. He's doing this. He's doing that. But in reality, the only person that was wrong in this situation was Big Meech. I repeat, the only person that was wrong in this situation was Big Meech, right? Because Big Meech, first of all, 50 Cent put his family and put them back in the proper bracket that they used to be in illegally. Now they're legally in a better bracket, right? He took his son, who Big Meech had no choice but to abandon because he was doing his prison time, which means he was not into his child's life. 50 took it upon himself to put him to school, acting school, get him a gig, and make beautiful, large amount of money. You know what I'm saying? And Big Meech, being Big Meech, if you was in a financial situation, why you ain't holla at 50? Why you ain't holla at your son? If you had a rapport or a relationship with Rick Ross, why didn't you just keep it phone contact out of respect for your man, for 50 and what he did for your family? Forget how you feel personally, but what he did for your family, I felt like it was disloyal. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was not honorable amongst men. It's like, I got beef with son. Why would you take a picture with son? You know what I'm saying? Why would you do that? And I own the rights to all your I own the rights to all your catalogs, your BMF, your stories, etc., etc. Why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So that alone is a no go. You feel me? We don't respect that where I come from. You know what I'm saying? And talking about overheat, I'm trying to figure out where the heat coming from. Maybe because I got the heat on in the car. Turn that down, put it on the AC. But yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? If I got into a situation with an individual, just think about that. If I got into a situation with an individual, right, and me and you, and we both got two common associates. Now, me personally, I ain't gonna go as hard as 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Because I also see where Big Meech is coming from. Big Meech is like, yo, bro, it's not like physical beef where like if I see you, I'm shooting you. It's not war. You know what I'm saying? It's just two egotistic individuals that just feel some type of way, and you know what I'm saying, don't want one playing with the other. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But in the same token, though, bro, in the same token, you know what I'm saying? Certain things is just not meant to just be as severe as it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? But I also understand the codes of the streets. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent is an old time. His mentality is old time. He's old New York. A lot of you guys don't understand old New York. You know what I'm saying? That's why he went out of Jadakiss. That's why he went out of Fat Joe. It's the old New York. Oh, word, you chilling with him? Now we got beef. That's just old New York. That's not today's society, but that's literally old New York. Oh, word, you chilling with the enemy? You the ops now. That's old New York. You know what I'm saying? Where today's generation is more like, listen, man, that's your people's. He ain't done nothing to me. I ain't stressing it. You don't stress it. You feel me? I'm about to run inside this auto zone quick fast because I gotta get the fuse remover. So give me 2 seconds while I run inside this store. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna run inside. I'm gonna keep the audio playing and all that. Boss man, question. The fuse removers.
Check in on hour one.
Hour one. Appreciate you, my guy. Man, they get a fuse remover. Gotta get a fuse remover, guys. Gotta get a fuse remover. I don't even see this, bro. This is the one that I need too. It's $10. I just need one pimp. Yep. But I need a fuse remover, guys, because my fuse in my truck is getting old, yeah. Oh, it's right here. I just need something simple, bro. This is what I need. Fuse puller. So I need a fuse puller, and this is what I need too. And I ain't gonna buy that yet, guys. I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna buy that yet. I'm just gonna get this for now, and then I'm gonna get. I gotta get some new windshield wipers. I think it's 22 or 24. These are 40 a pop. You heard? That's $80 I'm about to spend for this. You ain't about to do that now. See where I get that joint online. That's all right. Appreciate you, bro. All right. Appreciate you, my guy. Me personally, I don't think it's my fuse box. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think it's the fuse. I think what's going on. I think I seen something online where they was telling you how to clean your windshield wipers. And ever since I did that, my windshield wipers been acting real funny. So me personally, I don't think it's my windshield wipers, but it's good to have it. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I bought it. I don't think it's my fuse. I think what's causing the issue is literally I need to buy new windshield wipers. But I'm not spending $50, $40 for one windshield wiper. Come on, guys. $40, $50? Y'all niggas is funny. You know what I'm saying? And I meant to go on Facebook Marketplace and go find out. I know it's 20, I know it's 24 on my side and 22 on the other side. And I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to get the fuse puller and just have that in the toolbox. You know what I'm saying? But you know, back to the big meats and 50 Cent, Rick Ross, and all that. Like, and to be honest, and just to keep it 100, I think what 50 did, as far as posting the text of him, I thought that was real. I thought that was real corny. You feel me? I didn't think I didn't think that was something that can be respected. You know what I'm saying? Just as a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Just as a black man, just so somebody that grew up from outside of just certain rules and regulations, there's certain things you don't cross. You don't have to put a man's child into something or having your child to explain anything, bro. What another man do doesn't justify what a child do, bro. Remember, that's still his child. You know what I'm saying? And you should not try to come in between that. You know what I mean? His relationship is with you. You know what I'm saying? He sat and broke bread with you. He didn't break bread with you, Rick Ross, and everybody in the mix. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. You know we gonna have to talk about some things, man. Now I made a video earlier, and the video is basically saying, basically me just addressing what I've been witnessing, since I've been, a part of this movement, as far as reading the Bible and all of that. And I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. Me reading the Bible And I'm gonna do a live later on today, but me reading the Bible put me in a space of being a weirdo where I was not who I am. I was not what the ancestors made me to be. You know what I'm saying? I was not what, you know, my environment and, you know, my experiences and what I've overcame and what I'm standing on. It didn't allow me to be that. You know what I'm saying? It kept me in a state of fear because of the stories of hell. You know what I'm saying? I said this last in the previous live, but I gotta regurgitate it because I want you guys to understand the logics behind it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, we invest into these things. We are fully invested. Whether you are invested spiritually, mentally, financially, we are invested into this, right? And our outlet into this investment is a belief that, you know, things is going to get better at the end for us, right? That's literally the notion that we have is things gonna get better. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I ain't stressing it. It is what it is, etc., 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 etc. And what we don't realize is that the reason why we're so invested into these ideologies, the reason why we're so invested, we are invested because we have been born into it. Think about this, people. Let's just think of the average black Christian in America, right? Because I'm not going to speak about worldwide. I'm only going to speak about what I'm privy to, right? When you look at us black people here in America, bro, the minute that you're born, bro, the minute that you're born into a indoctrination, right? You gotta get into the water and be baptized in the name of Jesus. This is before you even 3 months, bro. You already got this hex put on you. You already got this karma put on you. You already got this destruction put on you, right? And then you put it on. Then you live your life until you, like, let's just say, by the time you hit like 13, 14 years old, you're going to start just general. This is just general process as growing up into an adult. You're gonna start seeing things and gonna start questioning things for what it is. You're gonna say, "Well, wait, mommy, hold on. Why are we believing? Why are we following this white guy?" Because now your reality shows that we're following this white guy, but all the bad things that's happened unto us is by white guys, right? So now you start questioning, you start asking questions, and then the answers that you receive from your mother is not good enough, right? So then some people start elevating as far as going diving deeper, or other people just completely disregard, right? They disregard religion altogether, or they convert into something else, right? Cool. Then you get this organization that made its way into the black people's household, which really started making traction. Listen carefully to what I say to you guys. Listen carefully to what I say. That really started catching attraction in the 1960s. And it became a attraction to those in the 1960s because of two things. Now we know what was going on. You know, the civil rights movement, the assassinations. You know what I'm saying? The rise of Islam. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was becoming more devoted into the religion because of Martin Luther King, and all of that, right? So, and then you get the I look like my man's. Then you get the 5%ers, all of these things. It was just a massive influx of religious organizations making their way into the black community, capitalizing on the uprise. Like, you know what I'm saying? People didn't want to subscribe to Euro-Christian ideology, Euro-Christian jobs. We was just in that space. So it was a perfect opportunity for these Hebrews to come outside and, prey on the weak, because you was weak. Prey on our emotions, because that's just what it was. But how was they able to get this push? This is when they came out with the 12 tribes. Because William S. Crowdy and Frank Cherry never see anybody outside of the slaves that was in America as the children of Israel. Never. They never teached it. They never taught it. They never did anything outside of that. You feel me? They didn't do none of that. And you guys can look this up. If you think that I'm lying, you can look this stuff up. The only thing that they was teaching is we're the children and we got to keep the commandments. That's what they was teaching. This is facts. This is not no if, no buts, no maybes, no in-betweens. There was no such thing as Puerto Ricans being Ephraim and Mexicans being that. All of that was a lie. All of that came in the 1960s when what's the guy name that passed away? It's Abba something. It's another Abba. All these Abbas coming around giving us these foolish religious doctrines, right? So he came and he started teaching that everybody outside of the Americans was from the 12 tribes, the lost 12 tribes, right? And he used Genesis 49 to justify that. This is how this transpired. Okay? So prior to 1960s, there was absolutely no teachings of black people outside of African Americans who was Hebrew Israelites. This is facts. You can look these things up. You can do whatever you want. Right? They didn't have no room for Puerto Ricans, no room for Dominicans, no room for Mexicans, no room for Argentinians, no room for all of that. Absolutely no room. Right? That's where that happened. So these people came around into our space and capitalized off our emotions and said, "Yeah, man, you're suffering because you wasn't doing this and you wasn't doing that, and the rise is now, and a lot of people was invested. A lot of people. I remember when it was 1999. These same people was like, in the year 2000, this is when Jesus is gonna come. The world is coming to an end, guys. Be prepared. Grab everything. Let's go to church. And a lot of people was fully invested into that, guys. Fully invested, fully committed, fully all of that, and did all of that. And then 2000 occurred, and nothing happened. And then when nothing happened, this is when you started seeing brothers leaving these organizations and starting their own. They started leaving these organizations and started their own. Okay? When you look at when did ISUPK start, and when did this start, and when did that start? When you go down the history, you're going to see, it started in the early 90s. That's why a lot of them guys say, yeah, man, in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of them end up breaking off from these doctrines because of the foolish nonsense that was told. It didn't live up to this prophetic prophecy that these dudes was teaching. Now, why am I saying that? Now you fast forward to today. But everything that's going on, can't nobody pinpoint, nobody can say absolutely nothing. The only thing that they tell us to do is to sit back and wait. Just wait for it. You just gotta believe and have faith and have trust and have confidence in the Creator. and one half of the creator. Well, in layman's terms, they'll tell you the creator, the father. And it's like, yo, bro, yo, bro, we're really teaching this. We're really teaching the ways of our masters, bro. And like I ask every single person, if this is the word of God, let's just call it what it is. This is the word of God. And the word of God was supposed to be given unto the people. Then why am I paying for the biblos? Wouldn't the word of God be given unto me for free? No, let's not even say that. Let's go on. Let's take it up a notch. Who receives the proceeds for every Bible and every so-called spiritual book is sold? Who received the proceeds? And the proceed, does it goes back to God's children? And if it doesn't go back to God's children, aren't we as human beings, as adults, as people with a brain, aren't we then supposed to question what's being given unto us? And why isn't anybody questioning these things? Please hit the like button, share this so this thing can go, so this thing can catch traction. So why nobody's getting, why nobody of our so-called descent, the actual children, according to what these people are teaching, we are the children of the God. We are the children, we are the people of the Bible. Why aren't we receiving any proceeds behind it? Why isn't this money helping our community, helping our children, helping our women, rising up our men to be warriors, to be leaders, not followers, not sitting in the back seat, want to be with a group just to be down with something other than trying to find the goddamn answers to our destruction, the solution to our problems. Why? Where's all these proceeds going? How come none of these proceeds is going to the so-called children of God? Right? And if that's not taking place, people, then by default you gotta question what you being told. It's not personal. It's just, it is what it is. Right? And these people took full advantage of that, bro. When I tell you guys that, when I tell you guys that the Biblos, there was no such thing as keeping the commandments until 19 something. 18, it was 140. Keeping the commandments in Africa has only been in that land for 143 years. 2025 take away 143 years. Going to give you the exact time where keeping the commandments came to Albert Christian, guys. That's his name. That was the man that was sent there, that was ordained and sent there by William S. Crowdy to come to South Africa. He wasn't scheduled or destined to go to West Africa. He wasn't destined to go to Egypt. He wasn't destined to go to Benin, Ghana, Nigeria, Mali. No. He was directly told to go to South Africa. Now, the question that I gotta ask you guys is, why South Africa? Why South Africa? Why South Africa? Why South Africa? Nobody asked those questions. Why South Africa? And at the same time, while they're sending Albert Christian over there, they're also renaming the lands, the locations. Okay? The place called Mambri was literally put together, and the place called Mambri was literally put together in um in 1905. So prior to that, there was no area in Africa, El Kebulan, called Mambri. Now the next question that you gotta ask is this is just common sense, people. The next question that you gotta ask is, how did a land that spoke El Kebulan, that spoke Isikosa, that spoke every language outside of English prior to colonialism, why is there English locations? Why is there English locations in a East Coast speaking environment, bro? Why is that? Now you're gonna have those that's gonna say, well, no, my brother, they took our language and then they created their own. That's not true, bro. It's not true. They create English. Listen, the English language in itself is a satanic language. It's literally called the words of spells. That's what the English language is. The English language is the word of spell. It's called the word of spells, bro. That's what the English language is. That's why you call, do you know how to spell spell? Okay? It's spells, it's rituals, certain things like good morning. You're never supposed to say good morning because you're speeding the process of your death. You're never supposed to say good morning. Never supposed to say good morning. You're supposed to say things like, you're supposed to say grand rising, right? Prime example, pray. Let me pray on you. That's a term used as a pray feasting on the weak. That's what prayer is. They try to turn it and say, oh, it has different meanings and all that. They created that, bro. That's not your language. Your ancestors never spoke such things, bro. And we gotta come into the realization that this is real. Our ancestors never spoke such things. This is what that is. It's literally a spell, bro. So how did the spell language made its way into El Kebulan areas and locations? How did that happen? I'm seeing a brother, and I'm gonna talk about this today on the live. I promise you, I'm definitely gonna talk about it. You know, sometimes I hear things and I have exactly blessed means be less. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at these words, these things have satanic, evil meanings behind it, bro. The weekdays. You're working for the weekdays, weekend. By the end of the week, you're weak. That's why you need the 7th day of rest, to recoup, to come back Monday. Monday, which is, I forgot the God name, which is a God's name, that you gotta come and pay your wages and pay your tithes to, because that's what you're doing. You're working on Monday, you're working on Tuesday, Wednesday. All of these are fallen deities fallen European deities that you have to worship and honor every single day. So how did these terms make it into Africa, bro? Nobody questioned these things. Nobody said, wait, this don't make sense. Nobody. I had a brother put up some look, this is where the Amorites was. The Amorites was up in the areas close to Mesopotamia. Like, yo, my guy. When did the Africans say things as Amorites? What is the African name behind that? What is the El Kebulan name behind that? If you're unable to provide that, say you're unable to provide that, and maybe it's time for you to go look somewhere else. Nobody questions that. And when you do question that, people is gonna say things like, "Oh, he's under a spirit," and even the word spirit. He's under spirit. According to the Biblos, the word spirit means demon. But yet you tell me I have to be in the spirit in order to receive Jesus. So you're telling me I have to be in a demonic state of mind, demonic, demonized, delusional. I have to be in that state of mind in order to understand Jesus, his words, his mission, his purpose, and why he was sent to die for us. You got to make that make sense. You got to make that make sense. You have to make that make sense. That is not that this is not of our culture. This is not of our language. This is not of who we are. There's not a single black uh, uh, historical scholar, or let's just call it what it is, religious scholar, that can give me any information about African people, about Africa in general. And these are black people who are descendants of Africa, can't trace nothing back. Everything that they go back goes back to some level of religion, Christianity, so Islam. If you're African, then those are the two main religions, Christianity, Islam. These people can never trace their lineage back to anything outside of what the oppressors give you. And when somebody like myself put that to the forefront, like, yo, explain that, you're met with the foolish responses. There's a rebuttal for anything that goes against the narrative, right? It's a rebuttal. That's what it is. Why would Enoch, why would Cain name the city Enoch, and then the creator hit one of his favorites, the lineage also was named Enoch? Nobody, nobody don't find that very, very interesting. I find that very interesting. Why would he name that Enoch? Why would he do that? Why? That's completely absurd to me. But again, when you bring such things to the table and you start asking such questions and you're not being given the proper answer, you have a due diligence to go look for the answer yourself, because that's why you have a brain. That's why you have a brain. That's why you have a brain. Your brain is meant to be used, bro. Your brain is meant to be used. Is meant to be used. It's meant to learn. Your brain is always working, always looking for information, always looking for something to elevate your mind, elevate you. Always. It will never stop. Ever. It will never stop, people. It will never stop, people. But we are the reason why it's stopping. We are the reason why it's stopping. And I'm going to talk about that a whole nother time. But you have a due diligence to, okay, maybe I need to go do this homework for myself. And then when you start doing the homework for yourself, that's when you start to see and start watching and noticing the lies. Then you start noticing the interjections. Then you start noticing the assumptions. This is not facts. These are assumptions. Then you understand that now this is not standing on truth. This is standing on belief. This is standing on something that you have to say to yourself, this is what I want. Now I understand why black people are not subject to the biblos, because that's just not what they want. Now I understand why people are not subject to the Quran, or why they accept the Quran and not the biblos, or vice versa. It's because this is not what they want, right? Because religion, when it was given unto black people, it was given unto us as a believe in this, trust in this, and you shall be all right. And people starting to see that. And then a lot of people who has these feelings, is everything that I'm saying, that when you have these questions and you're looking for the answers and you're reaching out to people who supposed to be in this elevation, in this higher elevation of understanding when it comes to the biblos. When you reach out to them and you seek these answers and you don't get these answers, a lot of you guys still continue to be a part of the foolishness. They take the initiative and say, you know what? He don't have the answers. Maybe I need to go find the answers myself. And the only way you're going to find the answers, guys, you have to put it in your mind to say to yourself that I'm going to seek the answers no matter how disappointed it makes me at the end. Because you will be disappointed. You will come to the realization that you've been lied to. You will come into the realization that you've been played. You will come into the realization that this is not for you. Some grown ass woman with a pink wig on. God damn, bro, this is crazy, guys. You will come into that realization, bro. You will come into that realization that, hold on, this don't make sense. Okay, now, oh, was a lie. And a lot of you guys don't want to accept the lie because you was indoctrinated since birth. You was born into the belief of Jesus. And these Hebrew Israelites allow you to keep your belief in Jesus, but make you feel a little bit better because now it's a black man that's coming to save you. It's a black man that's coming to save you. It's a black man that's coming to wage war, etc., etc. But nobody can trace the areas where all these wars take place. The Babylonian War. Where can we find some body parts, something? Can we find anything? Can you pinpoint the exact location and where the fights took place and how it went like this and how it went like that and the outcome? Show it to me. I'm all ears, guys. Believe me, I'm all ears, man. Right? Don't show me locations. Don't show me locations of Africa connected to the Biblos. When I know that Africa, the people in Africa never spoke English until they was colonized. Show me where these, what's the original name? And if you can't find the original name, then you're unqualified to teach this. You're unqualified, right? So now I was told that your savior was hung in Zimbabwe. How did you know that? Where can you pinpoint the location? Show me the exact location. I will take a trip there and go there myself to see that for myself. Show me the exact location where he was hung. Uh, uh, the areas, the people that can attest to this. One thing about black people, we always gonna speak. We always gonna talk about past events. We never forget about that. Like I said it before, I still talk about. I could drive in an area and say, "Yo, my man's got shot right here. My man's got locked right here." We never forget stuff. And somebody in a prestige position as your savior, we would never forget the location. We will honor that every year, every chance we get. We will go into these areas and give thanks and honor. But nobody does that. Nobody Nobody does that. Nobody goes into those areas and find where this person was buried, where this person dwelt. He said there's no Jesus of any color. You're absolutely right. There's no Jesus, period. Jesus is Caesar Borgia, a painting of Michelangelo and his lover, and was ordained by the Pope, who at that time was called the Father. And the Pope wanted his son to be renowned, seen, and respected, and revered and feared all through the world. So he put a decree. That's why in the Old Testament, you hear no mention of the Father. But in the New Testament, you hear the mention of the Father continuously, constantly, over and over and over and over again. Because the word Father in the New Testament is a reference and honor to the Pope. And the Pope and all these other people are only doing what they are designed to do. Your king said, render Caesar's what is Caesar's. Your king said that. Your king said, render Caesar's what is Caesar's. Your king said that. A king, all knees shall bow, is telling you to give Caesar what is Caesar's. Why would he say that? Why would he do that? You know why? Because they are all one and the same. The Pope, Caesar, Julius Caesar, all of them, all of them, all of them. No, I ain't listen. No, I ain't right, pimp. I'm just giving you the information for you to do your homework. Render Caesar's what is Caesar. Your king said to do that. That's how you know that that book was never, it was never a book for salvation. It was a book about control. Because if anybody tells you, if every knee shall bow, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, if the man came to you and said, what about the taxes? Why would he say, render Caesar's what is Caesar's? He would have said, nah, we ain't giving nothing to that. We ain't giving nothing to that. We ain't giving nothing to that. The Pluto sub to Pluto, my creator, savior, and redeemer is the most high Sunini Nanini. Now let me ask you a question. How do you know he's going to, how you know Sunini Nanini is going to redeem you? According to what? What information do you have that can show that it's going to redeem you? I'll wait for it. I gotta go put gas. I'll wait for it. Put it in the chat. Put it. I wish this live. I wish these lives could allow, individuals to come on the live and speak. They speak. I would love to hear this in person. Hold on. 76 people. 76 people. 76 people. 76 people. Now, why I ask these questions? Like I said, it's all about asking questions, right? Now, if I tell you that the creators that created us, that created the universe, had absolutely no connection to the big blows, then how do you connect to the creators? The only way we as individuals is going to be redeemed, we got to go back into African El Kebulan customs. We have to go back to that. There's absolutely nobody that can prove that the Biblos is our way of life and they stole it and they created it and gave it to us. None of that can be proven. That's when that becomes a belief. That's when that becomes an assertion. That's when that becomes an assumption. You cannot prove that. But one thing I can prove is that we know that there's a higher power. We know that the word sunini nanini doesn't mean male only. It doesn't mean father. That's what came with religion. We know this. I done got clarity from people from South Africa who speaks as Isikosa for out their mouth and said, no, Sunini is masculine, Nanini is feminine. It's two energies come together to make two powers come together to make one power source. So when you refer to them, you don't refer to them as Sunini the father. The father Sunini you're not supposed to do that. That's a disrespect to them. You're not supposed to do that. There's no gender roles in El Kebulan. We know both names carry significant powers and purpose. We know that. We don't want to follow that because we have been indoctrinated since birth. And a lot of you guys refuse to let that go. A lot of you guys refuse to challenge what's being told to us. You refuse to challenge it. I can't refuse it. I got to keep challenging because I need to know who I am. I need to know who I am. Facts. We need to know who we are as people. And you're not going to tell me that to find out who I am gotta come from the writings of the oppressor. Why nobody is going to the land itself and speak to the people? You know, Africa is a very huge place. El Kebulan is a very huge place. There's millions or even billions of people that has not been indoctrinated by the Euro-Christian ideology. This is facts. Why aren't we reaching out to them? Why aren't we reaching out to them? Why are we basing our understanding, basing our livelihood on a story given unto us by them? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. That's all I want. I want people to make things make sense. I want the facts, bro. If you're telling me that this is my salvation, my redemption, you got to provide me with the facts, bro. Just give me the facts. And if you don't have the facts, first of all, say you don't have the facts. And because you don't have the facts, you are obligated to also say, I can't teach you this until I gather more information. That's just what it is, bro. I can't teach you guys nothing until I gather more information. That's the logical thing to do. That's the only thing that we need because we spent our entire lives being misled, misinformed, misindoctrinated. We literally are regurgitating the same exact things that the white pastor used to say, that the black pastor used to say, following the white pastor. And now the black pastor done elevated because he done seen a vision of us being Hebrew Israelites, guys. We are being the people. We are being like your teachers. What do you say his name? What do you say his name? I say the creators, and I don't say his name. That's the Euro-Christian ideology. Monotheistic does not happen in El Kebulan. I did a whole video showing you guys this. Monotheistic did not come into El Kebulan. That came with Euro-Christian ideology when they was copying the ways of Egyptians. Remember, we're not Egyptians. You forgot? You forgot we're not Egyptians. You remember? We are not Egyptians. We never followed the monotheistic perspective. We always did. Even when you look, even until you look into the names. Even when you look into the names. Modimo, the name Modimo, when you look it up, that's a female name, bro. Ulamari, or is it Shaniki, means it means uh, 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 the owner of the womb. Now, how does a male deity has a womb? Does it just not? See, like I said, my job is to do the homeworks that you guys are not doing because I'm not indoctrinated, bro. I will never be under somebody's teachings ever again. The only people that's going to guide me will be the ancestors. And the reason why I say the ancestors and the creators, the reason why is because we do not know where we come from when it's pertaining to El Kebulan. We got those. Some of us is not even from South Africa. Some of us never even been there. Some of us come directly from Benin. Some of us come from Cameroon. Some of us come from Nigeria. Some of us come from all other parts of Africa outside of South Africa. And I'll tell you what, and I'm gonna reach out before I say this. Let me reach out to my homegirl. I'm gonna ask her again, what is the name of the creators? And if she, and I promise you, because if I don't remember, she did not say the creator's name was Sunini Nanini. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Damn, I gotta charge this phone. I ain't charged this phone one time. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, guys. 17 minutes away. All right, we could do that. I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying. And if these names and out of respect for my creators, out of respect for my ancestors, I'm not gonna call on the name that my ancestors didn't call on. And this is not me, this is not me minimizing the strength that comes with the name of Sunini Nanini, but out of respect for my El Kebulan kidnaps and all those, I don't know the name. I cannot solely say that this is the name. That name Sunini Nanini came from a man, and this is no disrespect, but from a man that's not even from the land, that does not even live there. When I first seen this brother, I thought he was from there. I thought he was living there. I thought he was living there until I got word that homie was out in England, my nigga. Like what? Like nah. Like you and then the things that he was teaching was literally kindergarten teachings, bro. Kindergarten teachings, just putting a black face on it. I think out of how many episodes that I've watched, I think probably 4 was like, oh, this is great right here. 4 out of how many episodes? That's a problem. He says, from my understanding, is that they took our holy scrolls. How you know that they took it? How you know that there was scrolls written in the first place? Did you see it? Did you glance at it? Did you see it at a museum? Did you see it anywhere? How are you then going to say that they took it from you? You like I said, you have to be able to provide such things. If this is what's going to restructure your way of life, it has to have a solid foundation. It has to stand on something that's going to preserve us as when the world crumbles and it goes through the transition that it's going through. We need a level of foundation. We need a level of security and insurity. I need to be sure that this is the way, because a lot of us is dying without knowing the way. Okay, let me tell you, let me give you a personal testimony for me, bro. Personal testimony. Now, I've been in this. I thought once upon a time I thought I was a Hebrew Israelite. You know what I'm saying? I taught it. I taught it. I stood on it. If you wasn't keeping the commandments, you was hell bound. That's how I used to see people, right? Then you get out of that. But I still was a law-abiding citizen, still believe in keeping the commandments, still believe in all that. Was doing that. Then I got a part of this group. I got a part of this Bantu awakening. I got a part of it, studying it. Now, mind you, I'm a little bit more advanced than you guys. The colonize it into 54 countries. Okay, you're still you're giving me everything outside of the question that I'm asking. Was you able to see these scrolls personally? How can you say that they stole something and you didn't even see them stealing it from you? That means what you're saying to me is from secondhand. It's from a word of mouth. That then falls in line with what? An assumption. You assuming this. You're not standing. You're not standing. It's not standing on facts. It's in an assumption and in a belief. We need the facts because if we was to stand before Congress right now, stand before Congress, or stand before the judges of this earth, right? No matter where it's at, and they tell me provide your information to prove what you're saying. And I say, well, from my understanding, they took it from the scrolls. They're going to say, okay, where's the scrolls? And then my response to that is, well, they took it from 54 countries. They'll be like, okay, so did you go to these 54 countries and see this for yourself? Your answer is going to be no. By default, and I'm just going based on logic, by default, your case would have been thrown out the window. It would have been thrown out the window. Now, why am I going as hard as I'm going and saying what I'm saying? It's because our livelihood depends on this. Our navigation through this world depends on it, bro. And if these things are not for real, or if it's not backed by anything, how are you then telling me to believe it? And like I was saying, when I came into this Bantu stuff, remember, I'm a little bit more advanced than the average person. The average person, you guys are just now finding out, oh, we the 12 tribes. Oh, the Deuteronomy 28:68. I've been past that. That's why I say a lot of the things that your teacher was teaching you guys was literally kindergarten, first grade. It was not advanced studies. It was not advanced teachings. It was not something that was going to get us into another level spiritually. It was not doing that. It was just keeping us in the state of, oh, really? Oh, interesting. Oh, that's all it was doing. It was not elevating us. And if it's not elevating us, which I knew, then it was, like I said, as my studies, because I didn't deviate from it. I just said, okay, this is not enough. His teachings is not enough. He can't speak Isikosa. I can't count on this man to connect me back to my ancestors, to my roots, if he doesn't have the minimal qualifications. What is the minimal qualifications? For one, you gotta live in the land. That's for one. For two, you gotta speak the language. That's for two. And if you're unable to just do those two things, I have the Dead Sea Scrolls. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm more advanced than the average person that came. I had the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I can show you verbatim all of this Dead Sea Scroll rhetoric is pure nonsense. It's pure BS. I had the Dead Sea Scrolls. I have the maybe I need to do a lesson. Maybe I need to do a lesson on the Dead Sea Scrolls. I have the Dead Sea Scrolls. I have it. I have multiple Dead Sea Scrolls, actually. I have multiple Dead Sea Scrolls, actually. And none of them, some of them don't even go hand in hand. And again, the Dead Sea Scrolls is to do what? To justify the Biblos. Just like the book of Enoch is to do what? Justify the Biblos. Just like the book of Jasher is to do what? To justify the Biblos. But when you start reading these books, when you start diving deeper into these books, you'll find out that it's nothing but literature, mystical stories, and a fabricated lie. The more you go down, read the Dead Sea Scrolls. You said what language is it in? In English. What other language could it be in? I would love to see the Dead Sea Scrolls and Isi Kosa. I would love to see that. I would love to see the Isi Kosa in English. I mean, in Isi Kosa, the untainted version, the actual manuscripts, and the writers must be El Kebulan. I don't want to see Williamson. I don't want to see a Zuckerberg. I don't want to see a Steinberg, because these are the ones that's writing your books. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, people, and that's what I mean. Don't you don't have to try to debunk the obvious. Let's just focus on the logical common sense. That's what we gotta focus on. We gotta focus on the logic and common sense. Religion puts you in a state of belief. It's like if it goes against my belief, then it's not real. You got to get up out of that. You got to stand on facts. Facts. You got to desire facts, because our freedom, who we are, goes deeper than a religion, bro. It goes beyond that, people. We're trying to find our who we are. Remember, we've lost everything. Our land, our location, our areas. We don't have no recollection of these places. The goal is to find every little bit of pieces. Put back every bit of pieces that you can. But you're not going to be able to put the pieces if you're living a life in a state of, well, I don't believe that, so I'm not going to subscribe to that. Like you said earlier, you said, from my understanding, your understanding and this being facts is two different things. We have to stand on facts. Facts. Facts is the only thing that's going to set us free. And like I said, being in this individual's class for as long as I've been in, listening, out of all the videos that I watch, I promise you, literally like 4 videos. I can count on my hand now. I can honestly say, yo, this was a good one. 4. That's not good enough for somebody with my knowledge and wisdom and understanding. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years, bro. You can't swingle me like you guys might get swingled. It's not enough for me. I heard all of it. I read books, and I promise you, I probably read books that your teacher didn't even read. You know what I'm saying? Homie Rise to Fame was literally Genesis chapter 13, bro. No disrespect. But that was literally Homie Rise to Fame, Genesis chapter 13. And then when I read Genesis chapter 13, I was intrigued. I said, wow, how come I never seen this? Oh, Mambri. Oh, yeah, that's in South Africa. Remember, you guys know I used to teach this. I was teaching it all the time. Until I learned about Albert Christian. I said, who is this Albert Christian? Oh, Albert Christian was a missionary sent by William S. Crowdy to come to South Africa and have him establish a Hebrew Israelite church in South Africa. So he came out there and started teaching these commandments. That was in 1896 to 1901, 1902. By 1903, 1904, the area of Mambri was created. 1904. Cool. By German, listen carefully, I'm about to tell you guys this, man. By German missionaries. That's why A lot of places in El Kebulan, especially South Africa, is named after German people. What the heck is a Johannesburg, people? Who in El Kebulan named their child Johannesburg? Johannesburg is German. It's not El Kebulan. It's not African. It is German. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. It is German. That's not El Kebulan. You said the colonizers would not leave. See, that's the problem. We're giving these colonized niggas way too much power. The only reason why we're giving the colonizers way too much power is because we're calling them the colonizers gods, and we're worrying about what F the colonizers, bro. It's time for us to call on our creators. It's time for us to cleave onto our ancestral roots. It's time for us to go back to us. We don't care. Listen, the colonizers not even worrying about us no more. They done destroyed the black civilization all throughout the world. They're not even worrying about us right now. That's why they're allowing the black people to do what they're doing now. That's why they do. Come on, people, make that make sense. Think about that. Come on, I don't know if you're a sister or you're a brother. I don't know. But come on, family. Come on. We got it. We giving these colonizers way too much power. We got it. We got to get off that now. We got to get off that now. And like I said, this is not me trying to be disrespectful or anything, because a lot of people, when it's pertaining to religion, be very emotional, and I tell you guys all the time, you cannot be emotional when you are trying to find yourself. You're gonna go through doors where you're going to be disappointed, you're gonna be heartbroken, you're gonna be angry, you're gonna be all that, but you can't have emotions. You gotta be stern, you gotta be about your business, and that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. We're giving these colonizers, oh wow, they took everything. I had a brother tell me that the devil can't change everything, guys. The devil can't change everything. Are you crazy? The devil could do it exactly what he wants, what he's doing now. What you think is more worse? Think about this, people. Tell me which one is more worse. Tell me which one is more worse. I want you guys to be serious. Changing the words of God or imprisoning innocent black people for no ass reason. Genocide black children, black women, black anything for no reason. Which one is more severe? Which one is worth more of a penalty? Think about that. Think about that, people. And again, like I said, this is not me being disrespectful. This is just me trying to put things in its proper perspective. And I'm happy for that. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. 7 years old. Oh, so you a female. Shout out to you, sis. And even think about that, sis. Right? Even when you read the Biblos, this is how you know this is a Roman creation. The Biblos demonize women. Who's the only people on the face of this earth that despise women? Europeans, Romans. They the ones that can't stand black women. That can't stand women in general. But the Biblos, all they do is disrespect women. Women is the reason why men is dying. She disobeyed. Women is doing nothing but there's not even a passage for women to be a better woman outside of Proverbs 31 and Ephesians. Ladies, love your man like you love Jesus, because Jesus love your man because he is the head, just like you love Jesus and he's the head of your church. And guess what we do? We run for it, run for it, run. You feel me? And shout out to your father for that, man. You gotta respect that. Shout out to your father for not allowing you to be brainwashed. Shout out to your dad for that. There's not a lot of black people that's going to do that for their child. Shout out to your dad for that. Nothing but respect. I respect that. Facts. Shout out to your father for that. I don't want truth. I want facts. Understand, people, there's no truth on this earth. The truth, the truth has been removed the moment black people was no longer in a position of rulership. Everything that you see around us is a story being given unto you by the oppressors. Everything, your religion, your curriculums in school, your wages at work, everything is being given unto you by them. They determine what you get and what you don't get. That means that there's no truth on this earth. The only thing that we have that we need to seek is the facts, because the facts, people, listen carefully. The facts is literally what's going to give us the tools and the direction to get us closer to our El Kebulan roots. And if you tell me that my connection to El Kebulan will come from the Bible and solely from the Bible, then you're part of the problem. Because the Bible was literally given unto you. Listen carefully. The Bible was literally given unto you to spiritually take you away from El Kebulan. And then justify the physical removement from El Kebulan. Think about that. Show me where Solomon is. Solomon has 700 wives. Nobody can trace those 700 women with those children. Nobody can trace it back. Nobody. 700 wives. And nobody can trace that back. And if you're unable to trace that back, and you're unable to pinpoint this lineage, or at least show me the grave site where these people are buried. If you're unable to do that, come on, back your car up. If you're unable to do that, how can you not tell me that this story is about us? Why can't we find any burial sites for any character in the Bible, bro? Any character, bro. And knowing these people will have these people on display in a heartbeat, bro. If this was accurate, if this was 100%. But it's not. But it's not. So we as individuals, we have an obligation to question everything and anything that comes our way. Remember that the book was given unto us to accept a new indoctrination of who we are. That's why every single black person on the face of this earth that is, whether been colonized or has been removed from the land, every single one of them can never trace themselves back. Can never trace themselves back to their ancestral roots. Why is that? Why is that? Because you have been spiritually removed from who you are. The moment that we connect back to our ancestors, the moment that we respect the creators, the moment that we start following, doing the shrines. Look, if I say the word shrine to a regular person, you're going to automatically say that's evil. Who told you that was evil? Who told you that Who told you that having a shrine or worshiping your ancestors or lower deities, because you have to go to the lower deities in order for you to get to the head of the creators, right? The Haitian people was calling on Ogun. Ogun is the war god, is the god of iron, is the god of power, is the god of weaponry. He's the God that they was calling on when they was in Haiti, and you seen what that God did for them. The sisters was calling on O'Shea. They was calling on Ogun and O'Shea, and they was hiding it through these European religions, right? Because Ogun was being referenced as Peter. So when the slave masters seen that we was giving praise to Peter, which what they thought, they let it rock, because it's a process. It's literally a process, right? It's a process. It's a continuous offering. You have to connect. You have to connect to your ancestors. This notion of we don't worship the dead and all that, but you worship Jesus. A person that you guys know that does not exist, but yeah, you worship him. And there's no problem. There's never a pushback. Whether you change his name to Jesus, Missindisi, Yahushua, Yahushaki, Joshua, you're still worshiping a dead person. A person that had absolutely no life in you. You still do it. You don't complain. But your own relative, your grandmother that you grew up with, took good care of you, did everything, passed away. You act like she doesn't. You act like she does not exist. Why is that? Who told you that? This is what I'm talking about. This is the indoctrination of these people. This is the indoctrination of these people. This is what the Biblos have done to our people. I was just watching the Super Bowl yesterday. The guy was like, man, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God, for you know you're good. For through him, anything is possible. This was going on. So you telling me the gods of the oppressors is also the gods of the El Kebulan? Is the god of the Bantus? And you're letting individuals mess with your mind and took the word Lord out of the Biblos and told you to replace it with an El Kebulan name. With an El Kebulan name. And then why you are connected to this El Kebulan name? Why you're connected to this? That's a lie. Who told you that? That's what they told you. That's in their stories. Go to speak to people outside of those that read the Bible. It's a different conversation. That's their story. They're telling you that. They the ones that's telling you that. I repeat, they the ones that's telling you that. Think about this. Think about this. Think about this. Let me just paint this narrative. Let me just paint this scenario for you, my sister. And this is all love, by the way. Okay? Let me paint this for you. You're chilling in your house. You're minding your business. Me and a bunch of my mans just kick in your door. And I say to you, the reason why I am here, because your God sent me, because we seen you bowing down on your knees to somebody else. And I do that to you, right? I violate, I remove you, I do etc., etc. And then now your child comes on the scene and I tell your child, or you tell your child, well, the reason why we are in these circumstances is because we was following false gods. Okay, fine. We was following false gods. That alone, that concept alone lets you know, like, nah, this ain't for me, right? But let's just go on a little further, right? Following false gods, right? According to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up. Chapter 28, verse 1. Let me read this for you. Let me read this for you. Right? It says, when and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, ask yourself this question. You have been awoken. The ancestors woke you, the Lord, the God woke you up, right? Now you're keeping the commandments. Now you're following the ways. We're going according to this. We're going according to this. Why haven't you become the head now? And then ask yourself this question. From the 1960s, no, let's go further than that. Since the year 2000, and I don't know where you live at, I live here in New York. Since the year 2000 till now, you've seen a high rise of Jewish establishment and ownership of property, media, television, movies, radio, etc., etc. And it's only getting higher, right? This is around the same time we was calling on these gods, the Yahwehs, the Yahushuas, and all of this. Now we want to be Hebrews, right? They are the only ones that's keeping the commandments. And because of them keeping the commandments, they are now the head over every nation. Meanwhile, you keeping the commandments and you can't even get a better job. Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Now, the false gods that's in the Bible, like Baal, Lord, Jesus, we know all of these gods, false deities. But now we're taking these false deities and now we're putting an El Kebulan God on top of it now. How disrespectful is that? Now, the same story that was used to colonize, destroy, divide, corrupt, separate, ship, etc., is now the same story that we're teaching the new generation. When the disrespect comes now, we're putting an El Kebulan name on top of it. And the ones that's telling you this, don't live there, never been there, can't speak the language at all. Not a little bit, at all. And when did the word, and according to the Biblos, where in the Biblos did it say that the word of God, his word, his awakening will come out of the land itself? Because according to the Biblos, it says, you will know me from the land where you are from. And I then will gather you back unto me in the land you are from. You are from El Kebulan. How the heck is the word of God being given unto the El Kebulans from America, from Europe? How? Explain that to me. Explain that to me, sis. How? But the reason why we don't care, the reason why it doesn't bother us, the reason why we don't go that far into the studies is because we have been indoctrinated We just want anything that's gonna make us feel more than just a slave. Even if I sell you a lie or I give you a belief story, as long as it doesn't make me feel like a slave, I am happy. And that's the problem. And this is why we're not elevating. This is why we're here. This is why, with all this commandment you keeping, all these feast days, it's the same story over and over again. Let's watch. Let's watch this September. I promise you, this September. This September will be Exodus number 6. And then the next September is going to be Exodus number 7. And then Exodus number 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Just wait. We will never go back to where we belong until we connect back to who we are all across the board. That means mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, intangibly. Until we go back into that, we will never, ever, ever, ever. I don't care how much commandments you keep it. I don't care how much feast days you attending. I don't care how many times you say the Creator's name in your liking. No matter what you do, until you connect back according to the universe, until you connect back to your ancestral roots, you will never get out of this bondage, because the Biblos was literally given unto you to keep you in bondage. That's just what it was designed to do. So until you get to that point, until you get to that space, no matter what you do, no matter what you say, no matter what you believe in, no matter what you follow, no matter what, you're gonna remain right here. And that's why they're renaming locations. That's why they put this in the Biblos and that location in Africa. Why? Because they need you stuck in their hypnosis. Because we are spiritual people. Our strength comes from the spirits, the other realms. You have the power to tap into the other realms. You just don't know how to, because you was told that doing that is evil. And then my question is, who's telling you that it's evil? When you go down that rabbit hole, the people that's telling you that it's evil, or the people that is capitalizing off your suffering. So I'm gonna leave it as that, guys. 97 minutes, that's way too long, but we always gotta build. Tune in later on today. I'm gonna expose this some more. This Amon nonsense. This Amon nonsense that these people is trying to have us to believe that this is in Egypt and all. I'm gonna put an end to all that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put an end to all that. And I'm gonna show you how these people are taking things like the I'll save it for later. Martin. I said Martin. You happy, bro? Come on, man. You're doing too much, bro. You know what I mean? So tune in, 9 p.m. We'll be live. Might be a little earlier. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get back at a decent time. I've been tired lately. You know what I'm saying? And then I gotta get back. I gotta get back on my workout tip, man. I see myself earlier today. I'm losing my physique. I'm getting lazy. I gotta get back. I gotta get back on my P's and Q's. So definitely going back to doing 2, 3, 400 push-ups a day, doing my pull-ups. Gonna start going back to the park, doing my squats, doing my dips, doing all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't about to do that. You know what I mean? We always gotta stay war ready. So with that being said, people, continue supporting, like, comment, share, subscribe. It's your first time, hope it's not your last time, your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. That means I'm still on your mind, man. Don't get mad. And like I said, sis, tune in. Go watch some old videos, man. I got plenty of videos where I talk about a whole lot of other things. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really want answers, man, if you really want answers, and this is for anybody that's seeking self. If you really want answers, you got to start seeking within self first. Stop looking for outside sources to give you something to make you feel more than what you really are, right? Because we are less of what we are because of the circumstances. And a man or woman or me cannot be your outlet to make you feel good. Your outlet of feeling good is your outlet and your view on life, right? Your connection back to your creators and your ancestors, the deities. Stop listening to the stories of these false gods. The only false god that ever came our way was literally Jesus, Lord, Baal, Yahawashai, Yahushua, all that. Those are the false gods and every writing that comes along with it. And we cannot disrespect our ancestors by knowing who these gods are and tie it with the creators of this universe. And I'm going to leave it as that. So you enjoy your day too, people. It's your brother, man. 105.